Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So the Orioles had to say goodbye to a longtime member and friend right before this series with the San Diego Padres. They did welcome in a few new friends. Could any of that have attributed to the very poor play this series by the Orioles, especially game 1 and 2? Turn it around a little bit in game 3. We're able to salvage this series and get one win, but still technically a series loss. As you can see, I'm on MASNsports.com. Let's get to the first game here. San Diego Padres 6, Baltimore Orioles 4 from Camden Yards. Henderson leading off. Hit and 2 walks. Rutschman 0 for walked once. Santander a hit, an RBI, run scored. O'Hearn 2 hits, a run scored. Westberg a hit, an RBI, 2 runs scored. Also walked once. Kjerstad with a hit. Really hasn't looked the same since. They mentioned it on the broadcast today. I think it was Ben McDonald that noticed it. Maybe it was Jeff Arnold. Kjerstad just doesn't look the same since he was beamed in the head. That's okay. We'll just let the Yankees get away with that one, apparently. Good job, Major League Baseball. Tool bags. Cristian Pache. New guy. Essentially just took Austin Hayes' spot on the roster, so no transactions to speak of there. Will be transactions to speak of. Again, we saw him out there, just really didn't see much of Pache just because, nothing really happened out there. So hopefully at one point we'll get to see more of Cristian Pache and see what he can actually offer. Or I'm sorry, he pinch ran for Heston Kjerstad because Heston Kjerstad got on late, and then Arias actually went out and played the infield because I'll further get to the bottom lineup and I'll tell you why. Again, Arias went in there and played defense, did not receive an at-bat. Mountcastle, 0 for. So he did get 2 RBIs. A fielder's choice in there and sacrifice fly. Cowser 2 hits. Norby got to start out there. I think he's playing a very nice second base. It is, what's the word? Comforting to know that maybe we didn't lose too much defense losing Mateo. It's just Mateo's range with all that speed. I mean, that's a game changer out there. Norby's looked really good out there playing second base. Over here tonight, though. Mullins pinch hitting late. Mullins did not get a hit in his bat. But again, there's your outfielder. So Mullins goes into the outfield. Arias comes in the infield. You're essentially switching, Kjerstad was the outfielder. Arias goes in there playing infield. And then Norby going from the infield. You got it. I know you got it. Because I barely got it. O'Hearn, Henderson with doubles. Santander and Westberg with home runs. Henderson throwing error. Look, Gunnar Henderson has made some great defensive plays. He has. But recently, I think he's giving up more bases and runs because of his, what's the word? Reckless throws. Throws that he shouldn't make. Yes, you make a diving stop and you want to get the out. But you know what? It was a tough play to begin with. And throwing the ball just 'cause is not always good. Especially when you allow runners to move up or score. It's even worse. And Henderson is in a stretch where he is doing that. He likes to throw the ball on the run. It's not like You fielded the ball, and you're taking a few crow hops towards the base. Like, throwing on a run like he's Lamar Jackson on a play-action boot. I'm like, apparently, and I've talked about this before. It is something they have mentioned on the broadcast, something they talked about in interviews. He works on it. I would like it to stop. Stop throwing the ball on the run. You're costing this team. Grayson Rodriguez gets a start in this game. Went 5 full innings. The Padres have, for the most part, they have been making pitchers work. No quick outs for pitchers, or very few. And it kind of got to Rodriguez here in this game. Only able to go 5 innings. Gives up 7 hits, 2 runs. Doesn't walk anybody. Strikes out 2. Again, excuse me. Padres hard team to strike out, and they make you work. Make you throw a lot of pitches. Bert Smith comes in relief of Grayson Rodriguez. Throws 1 full inning. Gives up 2 hits, 2 runs. 1 of them was unearned because of Henderson. No walks, 1 strikeout. Now, what wasn't listed here is a play hit the left field, and yes, Kjerstad is out there in left field. I know it's kind of ridiculous to say, oh, Kjerstad going back on that ball, and he couldn't make the catch. And it's ridiculous to say, I know for sure that Austin Hayes catches that baseball. He absolutely does. Because Kjerstad almost caught it. It didn't look like he got a good jump on it or a good read. And in the end, right up close against he wasn't quite at the wall yet. Kind of reaches to his left a bit more. He doesn't like catch it close here inside his silhouette. He's reaching out away from him. He didn't even backpedal. He backpedaled straight back, and he needed to go, towards center field a little bit, and didn't. So he just reached out for it and tips off his glove. And then he crashes into the wall, tumbles over a bit, and runners are allowed to move up even more. That's one reason why I don't like Kjerstad. And especially in left field. You really need a center fielder out there. You really do. Somebody like Kjerstad just isn't going to be able to cover the ground. And he demonstrated that on that play. Why they're still running him out there, I don't know. So because of Gunnar Henderson's throwing error, which, if I'm not mistaken, all happened in the same inning, and Heston Kjerstad not being able to catch a baseball, defense letting you down here. And they got nobody else to blame but themselves. The players themselves and the managers for putting them out there. Maybe you don't put Kjerstad in left field. Don't put him in the biggest left field in... Is it the biggest left field in Major League Baseball? I don't know if it's the biggest, but it's one of the biggest. But by all means, keep doing it and keep giving up runs because of it. Keegan Aiken comes on in relief of Bert Smith. Pitches 1 full inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Good for you, Keegan Aiken. Enter Sir Anthony Dominguez. New guy. Well, Brandon Hyde got a new toy and he wanted to play with it right away. I mean, I swear I looked it up, and I'm pretty sure the Phillies were in Philadelphia, so it's what, an hour and a half trip between Philadelphia and Baltimore? It's not that long. If you make the trade at, they announced it at like 3:30 in the afternoon. If you made the trade at like 2:30, by the time they actually announce it and it becomes official, you're about packed up. And then, another hour. You're here with 2 hours to spare, so another 2 hours of game time, 4 hours, from the travel. Go in there and throw some baseball, strike some people out. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's okay for a reliever. Not sure about anybody else. He had an okay debut with the Orioles. He did give up 2 hits, but at the same time, San Diego Padres very tough lineup to strike out. 1 full inning for Mr. Dominguez. Does give up 2 hits. But no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Enter Craig Kimbrell. And I know what everybody's saying. I know. Go ahead. Let me hear it. Yeah. Sure. Couple things here that kind of bother me about bringing in Kimbrell. It's a tie game. It's not a save situation. Mostly because, Kjerstad and Henderson couldn't play their positions. So I'm not sure why you bring Kimbrell in there. And second, how many pitches did he just throw the day before in Tampa? In that extra inning game? Too many for him to come right back out the next day and be like, oh, he's going to be fine. I mean, I know what everybody's thinking. Oh, when you spend that much money on a closer, he should be able to pitch back-to-back games. Sure. But he wasn't in a save situation, so what is the point? Why run the risk? And what happened? Kimbrell in for the 9th inning. Does get all the outs in the inning. Not before giving up 2 hits and 2 runs. Didn't walk anybody. Did have 1 strikeout. Now, at the same time, and you can see that they finally got the names back on here. See this, Mr. Profar with 2 home runs from San Diego. 1 off of Rodriguez. The other off of Kimbrell. With a man on, and that's where one of the hits came in. The ball Profar hit out was not even a strike. You're trying to get him to chase, give you a strike, and it just goes. And it's like, wait, how did that even become a home run? Well, so sometimes you lose the matchup. So I don't think this was anything like, oh, his back hurts or he sucks or whatnot. Jurickson Profar is a fairly good hitter, especially this year. He's having a pretty good year this year. Felix Bautista gave up a ton of runs and a ton of hits and a ton of walks. People fail to realize that. Maybe instead of saying that Kimbrell was terrible and old and washed up, maybe you should be yelling at Mike Elias that he should have gotten somebody better. Game 2, Saturday's game, San Diego Padres 9, Baltimore Orioles 4. Again, with 2 errors. Or this time with 2. Not a well defensively played series for the Orioles. Not at all. There were some plays where they didn't get an error, and they should have gotten an error. But whatever. Henderson leading off, 1 hit. Rutschman, 1 hit. Gonna do too much when that's all you're getting from them. We got to get more out of Henderson and Rutschman. 1 hit, that's it. No RBIs, no runs scored, no walks. It's not gonna work. Santander, Ofer. That's not going to work either. Though he did walk and score a run. O'Hearn, Ofer did walk once. Kjerstad, DH this time. Yeah. That's where he needs to be. Not playing left field and Camden Yards. No. Does get a hit, though. Cowser out there in left. Looks to be his normal spot now. Sadly, anyway. Cowser with 1 hit, scored twice. Mullins, 2 hits, 4 RBIs. Scored once. And nobody else could do anything. The guy that was in the pain, been in the pain cave for how long? He's the only one that can get any hits? Okay. Norby over. Rodriguez playing third base. 1 base hit. Okay. Mullins with a double. Mullins with a home run. Only extra base hits. Fielding errors, Urias and Henderson. Yeah. Urias now with an error too. Adding it to Henderson. And guess what? Oh no, it was that pop-up. They gave Urias the error on that pop-up. Yeah, pop-up. Kind of in the back of third base. But since the shortstop can get over there, it is technically his ball. Ramon Urias apparently did not hear. And there was a collision, and it allowed the ball to fall to the ground instead of being an out. And yes, Dean Kramer was in a jam. And that would have been the third out. A routine pop-up to get a pitcher out of the jam, you got to catch it. If you're Henderson, shove him out of the way and catch the ball. If you're, I yell louder. Yell in Spanish. I don't know. You got. Okay, maybe Dean Kramer shouldn't have gotten in a jam, but he had gotten himself out the jam. Y'all on the diamond there, defenders, y'all screwed it up for. And then look, Henderson, another throwing error. Yes, Dean Kramer got the start in this one. Ben McDonald said it very well on the broadcast. Probably the best performance by Dean Kramer ever. Because of the poor defense behind him. Even later, it was a hot shot. It was a rocket to third base. So it technically didn't go down as an error, but it went right under Urias' glove. Here's his glove, and it was like off the ground by just the width of a baseball. And that's all the baseball needed to go right by him. So you're getting all these ground balls, and the shortstop is throwing him in the stands, and your third baseman is running into the shortstop so he can't catch balls. Come on now. And even with all this happening, Dean Kramer still goes out there and gives you 6 innings. 6 full innings pitched. Does give up 7 hits. 4 runs. Only 1 earned run. That's important. Walked 1. Struck out 7. Yeah. Well, and to make matters worse, enter Cole Irvin. Pitches 2 full innings, gives up 5 hits, 4 runs, and walks 1. Wow. Okay, Cole Irvin. Okay. Why the Orioles went out and made other trades for a starting pitcher, because all of a sudden you're having a hard time. Up and down with Irvin. Of course, in and out of the bullpen since he's been here. Brian Baker pitches the 9th inning. Trying to give the Orioles a chance. Trying to stack a 0. Nope. Pitches 1 full inning. Gives up 2 hits. 1 earned run. Doesn't walk anybody. 1 strikeout. Not a key to success there. Not at all. Come to game 3. Finally, Orioles get a win. Wasn't easy. San Diego Padres 6, Baltimore Orioles 8. Colton Cowser leading off. Hitting a run scored. 3 strikeouts. I mean, Jesus. Santander in the 2-hole. No hits. Disappointing. But, and this is one reason why I want Santander further up in the lineup. Preferably 1, though I think 2 is okay in this situation. He walked twice. Santander walked twice. He has 3 at-bats with 2 walks. So technically came up to the plate 5 times. I mean, that's good. You want that. Now, you probably really prefer that in the leadoff spot, but it's fine. Santander also scored twice. Henderson, a hit in the 3-hole. A hit, an RBI, walked once, scored once. There you go, driving runners in. O'Hearn, DH, 2 hits, an RBI, walked once, scored once. Rutschman pinch hitting late. Works a walk. Add-on runs late in the game. Worked that walk and came around to score. Ryan Mountcastle, 2 hits, 4 RBIs, a run scored. Westberg, just 1 hit. Mullins, 1 hit, 2 RBIs, and a walk. All right, Mullins. All right. I see that. Connor Norby, over. Not looking good offensively in his debut at Camden Yards. Yeah, that's right. It did take us a while to figure that out, I think. Longer than, we're all skilled at. Norby has had a locker in Camden Yards. It's just he's never seen the field at Camden Yards. Debuted in Toronto. Came back, in Tampa Bay. I mean, not Tampa Bay. Miami. Yeah, Miami. One of them Florida cities, whatever. This was, like his first series active in Camden Yards. It was shocking. Oh, yeah. Totally forgot. But, I mean, he did make up for it defensively, in my opinion, overall. Several nice plays. Kjerstad pinch hitting late. Nothing. Strikeout. Again, just definitely slowed by that hit in the face. That's okay. Again, we'll just let the Yankees have that one. He wasn't throwing at Heston Kjerstad. Yeah, my fat ass he wasn't. Mona Rios then comes in to play the defense because Kjerstad's not going to play the infield. Sure, he should be playing the field much at all, but okay. James McCann with a base hit. Oh my God. A hit. He's only 1 for 2. What happened? Oh, he actually walked twice. James McCann walked twice in the same inning. This inning right here, the 3rd inning. He led off. Well, that helped a lot, right? He was the leadoff guy and leadoff walk. Wow. You don't hear that happening too much at all. Mullins with a double, O'Hearn with a triple, the only 2 extra base hits. And in true Mo Gabbard fashion, O'Hearn's triple was a shot out to right field, and David Peralta was David Peralta. To me, it looked like he was tracking the ball all the way. Then he brought his glove up to catch the ball, and it kind of went in his eyesight. And it was like, and then you could just see him go, ah! He lost it. He lost the ball, and it trickles away. Now, it didn't hit him. It didn't hit him like it hit Mr. Lowe from the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Remember Trey Mancini's inside the park home run? That was also a Mo Gabbard day. Wow. That's somewhat odd. It really is. But thanks, Mo. Errors. Henderson throwing. It's got to stop. It has to stop. Cannot keep throwing balls away. You just can't keep... You cannot. Now, to a certain extent, This was the ninth inning. Strange ass ninth inning. Very strange ninth inning. Apparently, I mean, he throws the ball and it hit part of the dugout. To me, it looked like it hit the fence. They're saying, oh, it hit the fence and then lodged in there somehow. And that means the runner gets an extra base, which doesn't make sense. Usually, let's say Wrigley Field, if the ball gets lodged into the ivy out there, it prevents runners from moving up. So why does this make the runners move up? Also, sounds like a judgment call. It didn't really look like James McCann going to pick up the baseball had any trouble getting the baseball. Was that lodge or was it resting? I think it was resting there. Again, why would that mean that the runner gets an extra base? Whatever. Then Mr. Umpire's like, oh, that ball hit him in a batter's box. It totally didn't. It really didn't look like it on the replay. And then there it is dribbling in front of the plate. And no. Okay. Yeah, almost giving it away in the ninth inning. And then the double play ball. Ball hit up the middle to Henderson. Now, he picked it up like in front of second base a little bit. Had to go back to second base. Really just like stretch the leg out. And then trying to throw over to first base. Or he flat out gets taken out by the runner there. There's no other way to say it. The runner took him out. The runner was not trying to slide into second base to get there. He slid into Gunnar Henderson's leg to break up the throw. Is that allowed? Sure. Okay, fine at one point. If you're sliding into the base because you have a right to the base, I guess. You have a right to the base even though you're technically out. Right? I mean, in this case, shortstop has ball in hand. We all see ball in hand. He steps on the base. You are no longer a runner. You're an out. Why are you allowing an out to slide into a fielder? You know? Because Gunner's a little in front of second base at this point. So it's not like the runner, I think it was Wade. Yes, this guy, Mr. Pinch Runner Wade. Like, there's no reason for you to slide because you're out. You're out. You see Gunner with the ball way ahead of you. It's not like he's picking up a feed or something. He has the ball. He is ready to throw. Steps on the base. You're out. He slides right into his leg purposefully. I mean, okay. Whatever. I mean, but I guess he's supposed to have the right to the bag. Because. Even though he's an out. And there was no question. He was out. Whatever. Hopefully Gunnar isn't injured. Because, again, Major League Baseball is being real lenient with their rules. Okay. Albert Suarez gets the start in this game, facing his brother's team. Robert Suarez is he the closer? I think he's the closer, right? He pitched in one of these games. The close one here, right? Yeah, Suarez here. Robert Suarez. Brother to A. Suarez, this guy. Goes 4 2/3 innings pitched. Would have liked to get a little more out of him. Was getting up to 80. Excuse me. Was getting up to 83 pitches. 5th inning was a struggle for him. Gives up 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, strikes out 2. And in comes Jacob Webb. You're extending Jacob Webb now a little bit. Disappointing. Would have been nice to, I don't know, maybe go to somebody else to finish out the 5th, and then Jacob Webb in the 6th. I don't know. I don't really know who was available either, because you got a doubleheader tomorrow. 1 1/3 inning pitch by Jacob Webb, so he finishes out the 5th and gets the 6th inning. Gives up 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned. No walks, 3 strikeouts. Odd that you were able to get 3 strikeouts, but you still gave up all them hits, but alright. Chino Perez in for the 7th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Hey, we'll take it. Ends up getting the win in this one because I'm not 100% sure why it was him that got the win, because Orioles scored their 6 runs here in the 3rd and then added 2 in the 8th. The Padres never led in this game, so why exactly wouldn't it be Webb? Right? Since he finished off the 6th inning. I mean, whatever. Sir Anthony Dominguez, second action for the Baltimore Orioles now. Pitches the full 8th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. There you go. Don't give up hits this time. Yanier Cano in for the 9th. Again, with Kimbrel's issues. Or maybe it's really Brandon Hyde's issues with how he has to use Kimbrel. I mean, he damn near threw 30 pitches that last game in Miami. You just expected him to be able to come back the next day and be like, yeah, I'm totally fine, boss. Let's go. Yeah, I didn't expect that at all. But, okay. It's Kimbrel's fault. Yanier Cano in the 9th inning, which he does not like. They had 3 runs to play with, so that's probably why Brandon Hyde was comfortable with this. Though, I mean, I told you some of the crazy-ass shit that was happening in the 9th inning, so Cano gives up 3 hits, 1 run. Doesn't walk anybody, doesn't strike anybody out. But we got the win. Cano's 4th save. Whatever, y'all. Alright, let's get to some articles here. Mention the Austin Hayes trade and the 3 players involved there. Another trade that the Orioles made. And it was announced during the pregame show. Zach Eflin spent some time with... God, who's he been with? I think the Padres drafted him. He was with the Dodgers for a bit. Feel like he pitched some... Yeah, he pitched some in Philadelphia. Because they said Sir Anthony Dominguez and him were teammates. More recently with the Tampa Rays. Orioles trade 3 relatively unknown... Jackson Baumeister, Mac Harvath, and Matthew Etzel. Not too familiar with those guys, though. I know Etzel has speed. Hopefully this does not come back to haunt us, because, you know, the Tampa Rays are in our division. But at the same time, Mr. Eflin here does have is it a team option for next year? Pretty sure it's a team option for next year. It was in one of these articles. This article written by Rock Kubatko. There is an option. Is it a team option or is it a player? It's a team option. It's a team option. Or is it just straight his contract? I can't remember, actually. But if the Orioles, Mike Elias, and the new ownership group want Zach Eflin to pitch for them next year, they can do it. Now, I think they have to pay, I think I heard on the radio, WBL radio, I think I heard it was $17 million. $17 million next year if the Orioles want him to pitch for him. And with trading for Zach Eflin, had to make room for him on the roster. And remember, we never did, because Chase McDermott went down, Povich never came back up. We didn't have that fifth starter, so Brian Baker from the bullpen down to AAA, and now we have 5 starters on the team. Bad news for Baker. Sorry about that. It's another article written by Rock Kubatko. All these articles written by Rock Kubatko, and they say basically the same thing. I think some of them had a few different tidbits in them. You know, here that Baker was going down. Here who he was traded for. This one, what did this one even tell me? Nothing different. Oh, that's right. To get Sir Anthony Dominguez on the squad, the DFA designated for assignment, Vinny Natoli out of the bullpen. Disappointing that we didn't even see him work that much, but... And in my process, trying to learn, like, who was being moved for who, with, you know, spots on the 40-man and the Major League roster. Another place I looked at was MLB.com/Orioles/roster/transactions. Tell you here, activated Zach Eflin, option Brian Baker, designate Levi Strout for assignment, because you had to get Eflin also on the 40-man roster. Vinny Natoli in there for Sir Anthony Dominguez, so spot on the 40-man and the Major League roster there with that one move. And, well, you got Hayes for Pache right there, and it says, yeah, Jackson Baumeister, Matthew Etzel McHarvath. That's what it said. All traded away to the Phillies. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not the Phillies, Tampa Bay Rays, because I said, yeah, because I hope it doesn't come back to haunt us. All right, wrapping up this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Taking a look at the schedule, looking at tomorrow's games. 2 games scheduled for tomorrow. One of these being the makeup from the rain out. When was this rain out? Way back on May 14th. With the Toronto Blue Jays. Why the heck they didn't just play that? I don't know why they didn't do it then. Why they're doing this now? Because this does not make... this is not good. Because you essentially get a 4-game stretch here with the Toronto Blue Jays, except you only get 3 days to do it. Then you got a 4-game set with the Guardians. But, I mean, however y'all like. You do have an off day before you go up to Toronto. However, first game is scheduled tomorrow for 3:05. Second game is scheduled for 6:05, but usually it's about 30 minutes to an hour after the first one ends. Take that for what it is. That's 6:05 start time. Tuesday's game scheduled for 6:35. Wednesday's game scheduled for 12:35. So this is going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Stay tuned. No off day in between the series, so stay tuned for Thursday, where I will talk about this 4-game series in 3 days with the Toronto Blue Jays. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.